Hey YouTube, as in a previous video I mentioned my respect for Peyton Manning. You know, when he was in college and then he got drafted into the Colts, and the Colts had been doing terribly. They were like, right here they're like 9-7, 9-7. I mean, they had done well a few years, 8-8, 4-12. 8-8. There it is again. 9-7, 9-7. 3-13, 3-13. Then here come when Peyton Manning joined. They were 13-3, 10-6, 6-10. That one might have messed him up, but the year later, they were 10-6, 12-4. That's when they lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Patriots 2 years in a row. So the year later, they lost to the Patriots again, 12-4 that year. Then they lost to the Steelers when they were 14-2. That's the year the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl and lost. And Peyton Manning is such a great quarterback. They could have won in the end, but Tony Dungy was the coach when Coach Jim E. Mora left. Then Tony Dungy got it. Then after he lost to the Steelers in this one. Then they went back the next year and they went to the Super Bowl and won against the Bears, you know. But now I'm going to play a video. Peyton Manning. Some people want Peyton Manning. There's a big problem with a lot of people who have Peyton Manning, as they say he's a choker. The thing that disappoints me about the Bronco fans is they boo him, and he's the best player for the Denver Broncos in my opinion. I think Peyton Manning's better than Tom Brady in my opinion. I think Tom Brady is overrated. A lot of people don't even like Tom Brady, and a lot of people do. And if you like Tom Brady, that's fine. I just think he's had too many Super Bowls, and I can't stand to watch him win another one. I have had it with Tom Brady. And he said, when I suck, I'll retire. And they said they assigned him for 30 years. He can't play until he's 50? How can he survive that? I mean, maybe he could, because he's a great quarterback, but he's almost 40 years old now. Peyton Manning. I have a background video here of Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is the definition of a superstar quarterback. You have to pay him.
Here we go. Sorry about that light flicker.
Peyton Manning is the definition of a superstar quarterback. You have to pay him constant attention, can change the game in a heartbeat, knows the defenses, knows what his team can do, is constantly changing the plays. He's the real deal.
Peyton Manning was born March 24th, 1976 in New Orleans, Louisiana. The son of former NFL quarterback Archie Manning, he grew up.
You got him, you got Eli, you got a group They have a little brother too. I think.
One of 3 boys in a football family.
I think having Archie Manning as a father impacted Peyton twofold. One, he never forced him to be a quarterback, but because it was part of the family business, so to speak, that's just how he naturally gravitated toward that position. But also, Archie didn't have a lot of success in the pros, and he was beaten up a little bit as a pro. So Peyton knew exactly what he was getting into. And I think that really helped him early on in his career especially.
When Peyton Manning came out of high school, he was the #1 recruited quarterback, National Player of the Year.
So he's been pretty good for most of his life.
Going into college.
In 1994, Peyton enrolled in University of Tennessee, where over the next...
There's this guy named Casual Game Reed. He's been following Peyton Manning since he was in college, and since he was a Tennessee Colt, and since he was a Denver Bronco. And I can know that the Super Bowl that Peyton Manning got slaughtered by the Seahawks in must have felt for him, because it was really bad for me. I wouldn't have been mad if the Seahawks would have lost that game. I was disappointed the Seahawks lost this time because, for once, I don't like Tom Brady at all. But I do love Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson. Wilson is a great quarterback. He is dominant. But, I mean, I wouldn't have been totally pissed off, but I was pissed off last night because I don't like Tom Brady.
next 4 years, he set 42 school, conference, and NCAA records.
It's pretty good.
Including 89 touchdowns and 863 completions.
Actually, speaking of his touchdowns, Peyton Manning has the touchdown record. He's thrown 530 touchdowns. Brett Favre threw 508. Drew Brees is even in the top 5. Tom Brady's thrown 392. Drew Brees has thrown 396. Peyton Manning's been in since 98. He should play until 2018 if he wants. Depends, but I wonder how many touchdowns Russell Wilson's thrown. I mean, Russell Wilson's already thrown 72, and he's been in the NFL for Russell Wilson's only been in since 2012. So he's been playing for 2 years, and he's already thrown 72 touchdowns. That's really good.
In college, Peyton Manning's nose wasn't just in his school books, but he was also in the film room. He would dissect film, he would talk to coaches and make up his own plays.
He just looked different than
That's how smart Peyton Manning really is.
any quarterback you've seen in college before. He looked more in command.
Hold on.
Wasn't just in his school books, but he was also in the film room. He would dissect film, he would talk to coaches and make up his own plays.
He just looked different than any quarterback you've seen in college before. He looked more in command. He was like a Mike.
I mean, Peyton Manning for me is one of the greatest quarterbacks who has ever lived. He's like my second favorite quarterback of all time, if not my favorite by now. I became more of a fan of Peyton Manning recently, you know. But I really love Peyton Manning, and I will love him until the end of time. That my girlfriend bought me this because she knows I like Peyton Manning. I love the guy. A year after he won Super Bowl 42, I still have his old jersey I showed you earlier when he was a Colt.
Maestro orchestrating what was going on, not only among his own players, but the other team's players.
After graduation in 1998, Peyton was drafted first overall by the Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts had been so terrible
Listen to this.
for so long. They've been a joke franchise. They get Peyton Manning, and suddenly within 2 years they're winning, and they're winning a lot. They became almost immediately one of the signature teams in the league.
Over the next 13 seasons, Manning became one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL and helped transform the Colts.
On the list, I found him in the top 10. He was like number 5. Well, he is one of the greatest quarterbacks who has ever lived. I even bet you that Russell Wilson, already throwing 72 touchdowns within 2 years, is going to be a Hall of Famer in the next, 5 to 10 years. In the next few years, he will become a Hall of Famer too. he will be a Hall of Famer probably. I can guarantee. Russell Wilson is amazing. An amazing quarterback also. Just like Peyton Manning.
To division contenders. He was named to 12 Pro Bowls, won 8 division championships, 2 AFC championships, and was the fastest player ever to pass for 50,000 yards and 4,000 completions.
When you thought of the Colts, you think of Peyton Manning. In fact, you still think of the Colts, and you still think of Peyton Manning, and he's not there.
In 2007, Manning led Indianapolis to victory in Super Bowl 41 over the Chicago Bears. He threw for 247 yards.
I love you, Peyton. That was a great job you did that year.
And was named the game MVP.
Until Peyton won that Super Bowl.
You know what else is really sweet? A year later, Eli Manning won a Super Bowl and he was the MVP. 2 brothers. One after the other.
He was kind of the guy that everybody said, well, he's great until it came playoff time. Well,
that's what I heard. I heard that he was great, and in the playoffs he chokes. But that year he proves them wrong.
He proved him wrong with that, and I think that elevated him to a totally different level.
Off the field, Manning, like his younger brother, New York Giants quarterback Eli, is a popular celebrity and pitchman. He has hosted Saturday Night Live and been featured in TV commercials, including ads for Sprint, MasterCard, and Gatorade.
Peyton Manning is fun, he's entertaining, he's the life of the party wherever he is, yet at the same time, he may be the most competitive individual and the hardest worker you'll ever meet.
In 2011, Manning underwent neck surgery before signing a contract extension with the Colts. Forced to sit out the entire season, he was released from the team. And in March 2012, he signed a 6-year, $90 million contract with the Denver Broncos.
I think Peyton Manning's legacy is going to be that he was a winner. But not only was he a winner, he was a guy who understood a very complicated game. And yet Peyton Manning makes it seem as easy as breathing.
Looks like the Garcia's got a new car.
So it looks like he's got a few more years to go. There was something else. I heard if you piss off Peyton Manning, he will come after you. Peyton Manning is a respectful player, but I don't know what it was with this. Peyton Manning taunting. This is what I heard. This is going to be another video that I'm going to play with it. Because I love Peyton Manning no matter what.
Welcome to That's Good Broncos. I'm Brandon Perna, and this is a very special Peyton Manning Gets a Taunting Penalty episode. Just embrace how amazing that shot is. Embrace it. Let's talk football. I want everyone to understand that this is the only time you will ever see this happen. I'm of course talking about Peyton Manning throwing this gorgeous touchdown to Emmanuel Sanders right before the first half concluded. Now the touchdown isn't a big deal. It's that after the touchdown, Manning got flagged for taunting.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 18 with a taunt.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the truth that usually, that's what the ref will say if it's unsportsmanlike conduct or anything else, like pass interference. Because I was always wondering who said pass interference, because I'm going to be honest, I was never really big into football. I was only a Seahawks fan because I didn't know any other team. That's humiliating for a kid who loves football. In high school, I became more aware of football, and the only Super Bowls I've ever watched were I've watched highlights of other Super Bowls, but I watched Super Bowl. I've watched Super Bowl. The only Super Bowl I really ever watched was Super Bowl 48, Super Bowl 49, and Super Bowl Super Bowl. You know, I don't know my Roman numerals that much. The only Super Bowls I really ever watched were Super Bowl 48, Super Bowl 49, and Super Bowl 44. 44 is when the Broncos went, or is when the Colts went back. Sorry, I said Broncos because I've been a fan of Peyton Manning, and since he's with the Broncos now, but he was with the Colts back then. And here we go.
Yes! Yes! I am at a complete lack of words to describe how happy that play made me. Peyton Manning went out of his way to find DJ Swearinger after that touchdown to tell him to fuck off or something. And look at the guy next to Swearinger. He's as shocked as all of us. Dang, dude, Peyton Manning just told you to fuck off and revoked all of your Papa John's coupons. This little bitch, Swearinger, had been talking shit all week at practice. And the week before against the Falcons, which was documented
This guy's funny.
on the hit series Hard Knocks. And Peyton Manning, the sheriff, torched him on this touchdown play and then let him know you don't break the law when the fucking sheriff is in town. Now this taunting penalty came right after Swearinger took out Wes Welker by giving him yet another concussion. It's been reported by me that Manning was in fact giving Swearinger a piece of his mind in defense of Wes Welker. Looking back at the play again, I think it was unfortunate for Welker. As much as I'd like to blame DJ Douche for the hit, he does lead with his shoulder, and Welker, who is going down, just happens to catch the hit in the wrong place, his fucking head. Combine that with a full week of trash talk from DJ Douche, and it's no surprise that the sheriff had to take out the garbage. In Swearinger's defense...
Actually, speaking of that, there was a bad thing that the Patriots did last night was they took off a Seahawks guy's helmet, and then they got flagged because they pulled down their face mask, which is technically illegal. You cannot pull someone by the face mask. That's a flag. This should have been a penalty for taking off a Seahawks helmet.
I guess when the first part of your last name spells swearing, you're predestined to be a shit-talking asshole. This has got to be good for the morale of the entire fucking asshole. This has got to be good for the...
Hold on.
You're predestined to be... When the first part of your last name spells swearing, you're predestined to be a shit-talking asshole. This has got to be good for the morale of the entire Broncos team. Manning, he's probably the most collected, well-put-together football player of all time. So if he does something like this, you know he's got a fire.
Okay, I want to say something about that. I was at work the other day and a Denver Bronco fan bashed Peyton Manning just because he lost the fucking playoff. Guys, Peyton Manning is the greatest player the Broncos have right now. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks who's ever lived, and I got proof of that. There's a lot of proof to point that Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks who has ever lived.
In his belly. And all I can hope is that Peyton Manning lights
The biggest fire that
NFL.
has ever seen.
And since Jon Snow is on our side, after we light that fire, we don't have to worry about falling at Castle Black. The most interesting part about this to me is nobody cares Manning got the penalty. We're all very happy about it, and even his coaches have to be excited about this fire in his belly. It was literally a perfectly executed penalty. It occurred right before the half, so the penalty was enforced on a meaningless kickoff. It came right after a touchdown, so even when Manning gets a penalty, he does it correctly. Funny thing is, if this were any other player, we would all have been like, "What the hell are you doing, dude?" And we'd be talking about the stupid penalty that player got right before the half. Not with Manning, though, and there isn't a coach on this earth that would get upset with him for doing it. I'm sure as a coach, you can't really get upset with Manning for anything. He knows when he messes up, and he knows how to correct it, and typically he knows more than every other coach on the field at any given moment. So I will conclude with a mile-high salute to the most badass thing Peyton Manning will ever do, telling DJ Swearinger to go fuck himself. And for the cherry on top, Manning's stat line for the preseason. 43 of 54, with 423 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and oh yeah, 1 personal foul, ever. Thanks for watching the very special Peyton Manning Gets a Taunting Penalty edition of That's Good Broncos. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, That's Good Sports, and to follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Also, make sure to write a letter to DJ Swearinger. Don't make it nasty. Simply say, "You got owned," and include an image of Peyton telling him fuck off.
Says right here, Peyton Manning got fined $8,268 for that. Yeah, he got pained. He got pained. Fined $8,000 and $8,268 for that. That's a lot of money. Oh, now I know what he said. He said, "Fuck you" to DJ Swearinger, it looks like, because it says F you right here. So he must have said "fuck you" to... Yeah. I would never know Peyton Manning to say something like that. But, you know, just don't mess with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's a great guy. I love you, Peyton. I'll always love you. I liked him better when he... I like the Colts better when he played for them. But yeah, I never hated the Broncos. But yeah, I really love Peyton Manning. He's like the best player they have, but the team kind of lets him down, lets him try to do the game himself. But he needs to have a team to help him out too. But thank you all for watching. Stay up to date and subscribe. Peyton Manning's a great quarterback. I was still disappointed by the outcome of that Super Bowl, but you know what? There's always another year. But still, no matter what, Russell Wilson is the greatest quarterback the Seahawks ever had. The two greatest coaches we ever had were Pete Carroll and Mike Holmgren. Both of them took us to the Super Bowl. Pete Carroll won. Pete Carroll actually used to coach the New England Patriots. I used to like one of the Patriots players that came over here. He was Deion Branch. Yeah, Deion Branch. Before I go, used to play for the New England Patriots 2002 to 2005. They went to the Seattle Seahawks from 2006 to 2010. Excuse me. Then New England Patriots, 2010 to 2012, then to the Colts 2013 to 2014. Says right here, junior college, University of Louisiana, Louisville, or something, New England Patriots, 2006 holdout trade. Seattle Seahawks, second stint with the New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts, and he was the MVP. Whoa. He was the MVP of one of the Super Bowls. Hold on. It was like Super Bowl 39. Deion Branch got the... It was 39. The Super Bowl 39 is when Deion Branch got the Super Bowl MVP. But stay up to date and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Bye. Peace.